My very first road bike, I actually bought it on a year out backpacking Southeast Asia and Australia. I bought it in Adelaide. It's a Giant Livervale in 2014. It was an entry-level bike and it was around £400. And I basically learned how to ride a road bike with this bike. I didn't even know how to use the gears when I got it, and I really struggled riding 10 kilometres. It was a big effort. From then I just carried on. I did more adventures, I did Audaxes, I did coast to coast, I did bike packing. All of it was on this bike. I absolutely love this bike, and it's safe to say it's my most prized possession. No bike will ever take its place, but 10 years later, how good is it to actually ride? Trusty bike. You have no idea how excited I am to go and take this out, and I'm going to go out right now.
Come on, little baby.
I'm going to do my little local loop. It's 20k, goes up Ashworth Valley, which is like it's pretty steep in places. Climb, it's got a lovely descent on the other side, really fast. I have not climbed on this for so long. Ready, bikey? Does anybody else talk to their bikes and other inanimate objects like they're alive? The whole bike's feeling is not just the frame and the forks, it's the components, the wheels. And these aren't the original ones that were on it. I'll show you what I've got on it when I can actually breathe and I finish the climb. But I've got the exact same wheels and exact same components on my second-hand Specialized and on my wind space. And so I can get a fairly accurate comparison because everything else is the same. I love this climb so much. This is one of the steepest bits now. And the bike is good. She's doing well. Honestly. I thought it would feel, this is like initial impressions, I've not done like an Audax on it, but initial impressions I thought it would feel really heavy and really sluggish. But because of the nostalgia, I was like, I don't think I'd mind. I'm trying to be really unbiased because I do have that, obviously, history with this lovely bike. And if it did feel heavy and sluggish, I'll tell you, it actually feels really nice. I'm actually surprised at how good it does feel to say it's an alloy bike. And all I've ridden over the past 4 years is carbon. There are some differences I'll chat about at the top that I've noticed. And I feel like this is quite a good test because this climb is like steady little climb, like this little bit is a steady bit. There's really steep sections and actually it's really potholed and uneven. I just had to stop. A lovely postman called Pete, I'm saying this because I want Peter to see this, just stopped me just saying that he's watched my videos and he's lost loads of weight from doing Zwift, and I'm just like, good for you. He's just chatting about all things bike, so hello Peter. But I need to get going because it looks like it's going to absolutely chuck it down. Also, I want to tell you the reason for doing this video and seeing what it rides like is because I do feel like the bike industry, as you know, if you've watched any of my other videos, it's a little bit wild at the minute. Like, bikes are so expensive, and I do think that there are a lot of bargains that you can get if you're not necessarily going to go brand new. Right, I've managed to get some shelter, so I'll chat to you for a minute about this little absolute beauty. So honestly, I did think, is it going to feel, because it's alloy, and I think that we are, I don't know, not told that carbon's better, but it's so much comfier, and that can be the case. But you can equally have bad carbon and good alloy and I guess bad alloy, and they're all gonna feel different. And I do think in this era of Giant, my friend Richard's got a it's like the men's version, a similar rim brake bike. It's blue, and I think it's the alloy is the same, because both of them, we are always shocked and people are always shocked when they feel how light the bikes are because they're alloy, and you always think that alloy is like really heavy. These are so light. In short, this bike is still amazing. I'll give you some of the pros for it. So the thing that I loved about this bike then and now is that all the components and everything on it can be adjusted. So it's not an integrated bar and stem, for example, so you can change it whether if you need to change your bike fit at any point. So it's going to be able to stand the test of time if you need to change it as you get older. It's also got a regular seat post. I think it's a 31.8, which means that you can change it for any seat post. Some of the bikes now are integrated, and I'm not a big fan, or proprietary, so they're a different shape. So if you need to get a different seat post for whatever reason, it's quite difficult. What else do I love about it? I love that it's a really light alloy bike, and so when I'm traveling, and I'm much more precious over taking a carbon bike than I would be. I remember this, I've chucked it in cardboard boxes. I've got like a really cool little, like, it's like a rucksack that you just chuck it in, and travel with that. So I'm a lot less precious about this bike, although I'm very precious in that I wouldn't want anyone to take it because it's worth more to me than any amount of money could ever, but that's different. I just like how simple it is. It's got external cables, and also the guy in the bike shop that did it was like, oh, I forgot how nice it is to work on these, like, simple, it is a simple bike, just very basic, and I just love it a whole lot. Okay, a couple of downsides. Downsides are on a climb, I will give it this. When you're on a carbon bike, say for example like that wind space that I've got, when you really want to push the power, it really like accelerates. You feel like you're really like being almost like pushed forward. On that, it doesn't feel as fast. Still fast, but not as, it's not got the edge. The carbon bike, the light carbon bike, well, that wind space for example, has got the edge on, like if you wanted to like push and get that every second counts out of a climb. I don't know, I've not done a really long ride on it yet, so potentially if I'm going to be on a really long ride, I might feel like the road was a little bit more as opposed to carbon where I wouldn't. But is that just in my head because that's what we've been told? I don't know. But I've got something very exciting to show you when I get back, so I am going to head back now. Hopefully I don't get rained on. Also, I need to say a massive thank you to David at Carbon Tech, because he basically restored the fork. The fork had started to erode because I'd just ridden it in all weathers, salt, everything, and it was just starting to like wear down and kind of like, I don't know, the paint was coming away and it just looked terrible. And because I want to prolong the life of this bike for as long as I possibly can, he basically restored it and had it resprayed, and it is like a brand new fork. I'm so happy with how good it is now. It just means that I can ride this bike for as long as I want. What's in my way out? So sorry.
Is this the original?
That's the original. What do you think? In fact, you can give me your opinion. Lift it. What do you think of the weight?
It's pretty light actually. Yeah, that's nice. Couldn't tell it's 10-year-old, could you?
Give it a little whirl.
How nice this seat. What the hell? Don't get me white socks in. Michael Jackson, I'm all. That's it on the floor. Very, what's the word I'm looking for? Agile, isn't it? Best bike in the world is the bike that you own.
Phil, couldn't say it better myself. That's why we're friends. I am back, it didn't rain, and how nice was that bumping into Phil on the way home? That was very unexpected but very nice. And I wanted to share something with you, because all very well and good me being like, oh, this entry-level bike from 10 years ago is still amazing today, 10 years later, if you can't actually buy them, because entry-level bikes now are around £1,000, which is still, well, it always has been a very lot of money. And so this is like perfect timing. I don't think you've heard of Buycycle, so I'm basically partnering with them for this video because they have around 20,000 pre-loved bikes. And before you ask like, oh, well, why is that different than eBay or like Facebook Marketplace? This was set up by cyclists, so there's lots of benefits to it and being able to find a really good deal on there. So the main one is you've got buyer protection for when you're buying a bike, basically. So when you buy a bike, the money isn't going directly to the seller. It's in like a little like holding space until you receive it and you're 100% happy with it, and then the money gets sent to the seller. Also, if you are selling a bike, you get like options such as like being sent the bike box out and shipping labels, so it just makes it a lot easier. I've bought and sold bikes on Facebook and eBay, and it's a bit of a faff, to be honest. like for the Specialized that I bought. I looked for months on that because on eBay, I guess those other marketplaces, it's just, there's just a lot of rubbish basically. Whereas I feel like with Buycycle, there's lots more options to filter, you know what you're getting. And so I thought I would have a look and show you a couple of different options that I would pick. I'm gonna do two. I'm gonna do one under £500 and one around 2,500. The first thing you'll notice is there are lots of different types of bikes. So you've got road bike, gravel, triathlon, mountain bike, downhill, cross-country, trail, and enduro. I'm gonna stick with road. And this is the other thing that I really like is there are so many filters. You can find specifically what you're after. Frame size, I am a 54. Brands, don't mind. Price, up to 500. Frame material, breakdown. I'm actually gonna look for a rim brake, this, and then I'll look for a disc brake in the other version. I'm gonna go rim brake. I'm gonna put very good condition. Component group, shifting, colour refurbished. I want one that's been in really good condition, preferably been like not shown like in an old shed or something. I'm like one that's been loved, like mine has been loved. Giant TCR Composite 2013. Okay, so it's similar year to mine. Tiagra, carbon, condition very good. Also, I will mention, in certain countries for Buycycle, if you buy a carbon bike, you can have it shipped via, it's like an additional extra that you can opt into, that it's then checked by like a carbon specialist. If you're not in a country where you're able to do that, you can actually, when you get it sent, if you've like arranged to have like a carbon specialist look at it, you've got like a couple of days. You don't want to be having it for weeks because obviously that money is being held, so you want to do it pretty promptly, but there is an option to do that. That looks pretty nice. Oh, look at this giant, it's kind of like mine. The paint job on that looks like pristine as well. Some 500 3,000k, it's had a service this year, no previous owners, and it's full Shimano Tiagra, and it's also got the giant wheels, giant tyres, so it's pretty much as that came, which is, like, I think that looks to me looks like it's not been thrashed. I think when you see bikes where they've got loads of mismatched things, I think, why is it all mismatched? That looks almost like it's just come from the shop, to be honest. Yeah, I like that one. So that would be my pick for the £500 one. Right, now we're on to the £2,500 bike. I'm gonna do it to 2,500. I'll do it from like 1,000. I want hydraulic disc brake. I want very good condition. TCR Advanced Disc 2022. So this is only from like 2 years ago, £1,500. Shimano Ultegra. Is that all Ultegra? Very good condition. Also, you can make offers. So if it's not necessarily the price that you want, you can always offer it up and yeah, and see if they take it. So this has been ridden less than 500 kilometers. It's never had a service, no previous owners. It's got the receipt from purchase, and that is £1,500. Let's have a look at the pictures. I don't know why am I drawn to giants in this video? That looks very good condition from the photos. You see, that's what I'm always like looking at. So are the shifters, if they've got loads of scuffs, I'm like, has it either fallen on a wall, has it fallen on the floor? But I don't know whether they're just new shifters or whether they are, that is very good condition, to be honest. If you're after a hydraulic disc brake bike, that does look nice as well. Go and have a play on the website. I've been doing it for about a month. Every so often just keep having a little nip on, just seeing what's new, anything there that I think is a real bargain. Because for me, I feel like in 2024, there are so many amazing bikes for sale that are gonna get you more for your money than necessarily buying new. And again, it's like a more sustainable way of getting a new bike. Well, I'll leave all the links to Buycycle below. If you still have your first bike, where is it? What are you doing with it? Are you still riding it? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear all your stories because I think you know that I just love mine. So thank you so much for watching. Thanks again to Buycycle. Honestly, I really like what they're doing. I'm going to be supporting them. Again, later this year, I just think it's just a really great, sustainable way. You get more for your money. You get, I just really like it. It's really in my like values of what I currently want to do and where I want my channel to go. So I appreciate support from them as well. So yeah. I'm gonna stop waffling. Okay, goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. See you next video. Goodbye. What's going on here? Oh, no. I want... Oh, God, Jesus Christ.